So what's our first topic?
4 ways to write a book without writing a book.
What are the
And that
4
makes
ways again?
Okay. So, talk your book, repurpose articles or blog posts you've written, have someone interview you, or hire a ghostwriter. And then you have 1 or 2 others that maybe you want to throw in.
I do.
Okay. You don't. Okay.
Make it up as we go. Obviously.
All right. Yeah, me too. I haven't took a shower this morning.
Me too. You're welcome. I brush my teeth too. Okay. Project volume. Focus on the camera.
Hi, this is Brett Ridgway, and I'm here with my good friend
Brian Hain.
And we are co-authors of the new book with our good friend Rick Frischman, Mistakes Authors Make. And this is your book marketing minute. Now, one of the things that people have in their life, Brian, is that they have a great story to tell, lessons that they've learned, wisdom that they can pass along to others, and they know they should write a book, but they don't know how to write a book. The thought of staring at a blank screen or a piece of paper just scares them to death.
Yeah, I've had that feeling.
Yeah, so one of the things that most people don't recognize is that there are many ways that you can write a book without writing the book. We're going to talk about 4 of them today, Brian.
Well, what's really cool is this book that we've actually written called Mistakes Authors Make, we actually followed our own advice here. And the way that it started was we actually got on the phone with our co-author, Rick Frischman, and we all just started brainstorming and listing ideas and just talking about, in our case, all the different mistakes that authors can make. And so we actually record that audio, we then transcribed it, and from there that kind of gave us the beginning of our outline that we were then able to start filling out. But what I'm wanting to point out to everyone here is we actually started by talking our book. And we did it on a recorded teleseminar just so that we could actually get all those thoughts down, and it's a lot easier than starting with a blank piece of paper to start writing your book.
Well, that's exactly right. So number 1 way that you can write a book without writing the book is talk your book. If you're much more comfortable just telling your story, then just get yourself a simple USB microphone, plug it in your computer, start up your Camtasia, GarageBand, or Adobe Audition, or whatever it is, and then talk your book. Now, of course, you need to have it edited and cleaned up and turned into words that you can then turn into a finished product. But if writing your book on a word processor just scares you to death, then maybe you can talk your book. Number 2 reason, or number 2 way, I should say, to possibly write a book without writing the book, and that is hire a ghostwriter. I mean, a lot of people say, you know, I just don't have time to write a book. And so there are professionals out there that you can hire, people called ghostwriters, that will write your book for you. Now, one of the things they're going to do, which is kind of our 3rd way to do a book without doing a book, is interview you. So a ghostwriter is going to interview you, or you can have someone else interview you and turn that into a transcript and then could be edited, modified to turn to a finished book.
You know, one thing I like about the interview approach, and it's kind of, if you're the, like we had 3 co-authors writing our book, and so as we were doing our audio calls, and we did multiple calls by the way, we actually had each other that we could play off of. So Brett would come up with an idea and that would spark Rick, and then that would spark me, and we just kept going back and forth, which was really nice. But if you're the only author, that can be a little challenging, and so you might actually get someone to interview you. It could even be your spouse or your business partner or somebody like that, and you could even write the questions for them, so that you know what you want to talk about, but this way you don't forget something as you're doing it and they can ask questions and engage. Ideally, you'd find somebody who knows a little bit about your topic so that they can ask the questions more intelligently. Even if you're not going to be using this recording in any way, it'll help you spark more ideas. But an interview is a great way, and if you're the only one doing it, that really helps you to get those juices flowing.
So number 1 was talk your book. Number 2 is hire a ghostwriter. Number 3 was have somebody interview, and the 4th way is maybe you've already got content you've done, or articles you've written, blog posts you've done that you can pull together, and those can be the basis for your book. You may already have a book written, it's just not in book format. So can you repurpose existing content that you have and turn that into a book? So there's 4 ways to write a book without writing a book, and it's a mistake that many people have, that they think they can't write a book. Well, you can write a book, and we've shown you 4 ways to do it without writing the book. And this and a lot of other tips are covered in our new book, Mistakes Authors Make. And tell them a little bit more about that, Brian.
So, if you'd like to find out more, actually you can follow us on social media. We have a Facebook fan page at facebook.com/mistakesauthors-make. We have a YouTube channel, which you're probably watching this on right now, although maybe not. These certainly do get around a little bit. And you can subscribe to that, or you can come to our website, mistakesauthorsmake.com, and simply buy the book.
Yep. And so that will do it for this Book Marketing Minute. thanks so much for joining us today.
Okay, let's see how that looks. I'm nervous as to whether or not we went off screen or not ever.